Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time. It's great to have you here today. To my subscribers, thank you guys as always for all your amazing comments and all your awesome encouragement and all your support and all your input. And I could go on and on and on and on. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. You guys are great. So I couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much for all your, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Anyway, okay, let me get to one of my favorite finds of the recent weeks. Poll finds more than half Americans take out loans to buy iGadgets. Ahead of Wednesday's mega launch of the all-singing, all-dancing, all-happy ending providing iPhone 5, the stunning reality is that a recent poll found that 81% of consumers admitted they could not keep up with the latest and greatest from Apple. And worse still is that 51% used credit to buy one of the must-have iDevices. As the Street notes, the findings of the survey showed the crazy lengths people will go to be the first person to have the latest iPhone or iPad. And the pollster was shocked and very surprised about how Americans freely admit that they are willing to spend their way into debt by buying Apple gadgets that they simply cannot afford. So 81% of the country is in this techno race for whatever reason. You know, I don't know what, maybe it's got something to do with the Nephilim, you know? Maybe it really is a little black magic spell cast on them that they feel that they got to participate in this stuff. Or, you know, maybe it's just, you know, maybe it's for status, you know, they got to feel cool by having the latest and greatest from Apple. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But we do know now that 81% of people have to have the latest and greatest from Apple. And we know that 51% of the country is, so more than half, is taking out loans to buy this stuff. So what do we also know? Let's talk about some for real facts that we do know. Okay, how about this one? How about we know that there will be a food price hike that no one's probably seen in recent years due to the worst drought we've had in years and years in recent memory in this country. We know that for a fact. We also know that the stock market is anticipating and waiting on a major monetary policy announcement from the Fed, if not tomorrow, in the very, very near future, and it will come because if he doesn't do something, the stock market will crash. So either way, there's something that will trigger a new monetary policy, even though we already know that starting last month they've been printing money behind closed doors, under, you know, just in secret, but that's okay. They're going to possibly announce either this month or next month, for no later than next month. So we know that there will be a monetary policy coming soon that will not have it will not have a positive effect on the dollar, just like the last 3, 4, 5 different quantitative easings have not. How about another fact? We know that last week the government debt crossed the $16 trillion marker. And we know that the supposed final and last debt ceiling is at $16.4 trillion. So we have a couple of months at best until we get to that debt ceiling. The supposed final debt ceiling. Where if they don't have a plan, which they don't, taxes are going to get raised, or they're going to cut them plans. Medicare, welfare, all that stuff. So, no wonder, you know, no wonder nobody's paying attention to this stuff. No wonder no one's buying any food. No wonder no one's buying any water. No wonder nobody's preparing. They got themselves so this techno tit, they're not going to get off it. They are so distracted. I mean, the majority, let's call them majority. 81%, excuse me, 81%, right, let's call it majority, are taking part in this techno race. So no wonder we can't get through to them. They're not even on the same level as their mind is elsewhere. Plus, I want to show you this. I caught this yesterday. Let's see, because this is important too. The date of when this came out is important too. Oh, that's today. I don't think I can. No. Here we go. Yeah, 9/10. It was yesterday. Okay. Now, I didn't get it all the way rewound properly before I started recording it, so I do apologize. But this woman, she's talking. The first thing you're going to hear her say is start it but can't finish it. She's talking about Israel in context about the war with Iran.
A war with Iran, but they can't finish it. And they also think that...
Okay, and you'll see they'll bring up Iran or Israel. I'm not making this up. That, you know. Plus, okay, so let's. Her name is Katie McFarland. She is a Fox News national security analyst. Okay, so she just said Israel could start a war with Iran but couldn't finish it. Really? Israel is a nuclear capable and has nuclear weapons country, whatever you want, territory, what do you want? They could happily and would be more than willing to finish anything they started. So right off the bat, this, I don't know where she's coming from, but listen to this. Listen to this. This is amazing.
The United States comes out and says, we're willing to use force against you, Iran, unless you stop that program, that will act as a deterrent to Iran. Because while Iran might say, well, we'll take on Israel, they don't want to take on the United States too.
So getting back to that believability.
Yeah.
Will it actually deter? Again, if Washington changes its tone, will it be believed enough by the rest of the world that it will elicit change from the Iranians to get them to back off their nuclear?
Well, you don't know that, and that's what the Israelis are hoping for, and they know that their leverage against President Obama stops right at the election time. Now, do I believe it? No. I think that what you really should go for with Iran is regime change. Not regime change George Bush style where you send in the Marines, but regime change Reagan style where you use economic warfare against Iran, collapse their economy so the Iranian people do an Arab Spring against their leaders and say, we want a new government. Because at the end of the day, it's not a nuclear Iran we mind. It's this Iran having nuclear weapons.
Okay, that blows my mind that she said economic warfare. Is this lady serious? Collapse their economy? Is this lady serious? September 10th, 2012. Now, let's go to something that I posted, I believe, January 12th. From Realist News, this is my post right here from Realist News. Okay? January 12th, 2012. And I posted this here little thing that's about this currency collapse that was happening in Iran. I posted this link and it goes right here to this article. Let me read the first two paragraphs. Iran's currency has slid 20% against the dollar in the last weeks despite central bank intervention, and Iranians concerned about the economy said on Tuesday attempts to send text messages using the word dollar appeared to be blocked. The central banks reportedly pumped $200 million into the market last Wednesday after new and much tougher U.S. sanctions prompted nervous Iranians to change rials into hard currency, rials, whatever you say in their stuff, into hard currency, accelerating a rise in the price of dollars on the open market. So we tried this already back in January. Here's proof of it. And you want to know what happened, lady, Miss Fox News analyst? You want to know what happened after we did this? You know what Iran said? You know what, America? You know what, and neither does the rest of the world, we don't really like you, and we don't really care about what you say anymore. So you can go ahead and put these sanctions on me, on this country, sorry, not on me. You can put them on us. We're going to go ahead and bypass the dollar, and we're going to trade in gold and reals and rubies or whatever with, I don't know, big countries like China, Russia, India. And you know what? There ain't going to be nothing you're going to do about it because we don't care about you. You do your thing, we'll do ours. Put all the sanctions you want. Doesn't matter. And that's exactly what they did. And they continued their thing. And then also what came out recently, it's like when she was talking, I could just see these headlines popping in my face. And also recently, we find out there are scandals breaking out amongst different Federal Reserves because, come to find out, these banks that were told not to do business with Iran because they imposed economic warfare sanctions on them, the banks continued to do business with them even though they were told not to. Imagine that. So we've tried this economic warfare, it didn't work. And this is old news, lady. So my question is this lady so dumb that she is and just so clueless? Or is she about to turn in Pinocchio because her nose is about to be 20 feet long because she's been lying? Either way, my point is this. This is why it all makes sense to me now. This lady here, she's on she's on Fox News channel, right? Say what you want about Fox. It is a mainstream media, a very big power number company in news, whatever. It's a big heavy hitter. No wonder people aren't going to listen to us, okay? I just tore that lady's little retort about economic warfare apart, and literally, if give me 5 to 10 minutes max, I could pull up headlines from mainstream media backing me up. So this lady's sitting here saying this, I'm completely saying something different and saying she's a liar. No, like if my family was here and I had this conversation, it would go in one ear and out the other. They're not going to go research this stuff for themselves because they don't care, because like my dad is involved with this. He keeps telling me all the time about the iPhone thing. I need to get an iPhone. I need to get an iPhone. He's involved in this techno race. So what I'm trying to say is that if they're not going to listen to me, of course not, because I'm just a nobody. So what? You could pull this up and prove her wrong. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. It means a lot of stuff. It means that maybe I'm right about this other stuff too. But since I'm not on Fox News, I can't be right. Since I'm a nobody, I can't be right. Because this lady, if I knew so much, well then I'd be sitting in this chair talking to this chick. So no wonder. These people are not even on the same page as us. They're not even paying attention to the same stuff as we are. They're not going to take our word. They're not going to even look at our research. It's not like they're going to be like, oh, well, show me where you saw that, or give me these headlines. I'll read them. No, you won't. So that's exactly it. It makes sense to me now because it doesn't matter. I'm a nobody, so I'd have to be on Fox News to even be considered possibly. But even then, it doesn't matter. I'm just a Joe Blow nobody, and so what? I can prove them wrong. What does that mean? It means that there's a lot bigger picture going on. You should be concerned too. But I guess we'll see what happens to the 81% of the country that's in this techno race. I guess we'll see what happens to the 51% of the country who is borrowing stuff to buy these stupid gadgets to stay in this techno race. We'll see what happens in these coming months when this stuff really does start going down. So I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, there ain't nothing you could do about it. They're not going to listen. They're just not going to listen because you're a nobody. No offense, I'm a nobody too. You understand what I'm saying by that. I'm not insulting you. I'm saying if we knew so much, we were so smart, we'd be on Fox News. So she proves that, right? Thanks you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.